Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So today's story is going to be a creepy ghost slash demon story. It's kind of an extension of the videos that we've been doing regarding our families being haunted, but this story actually just happened yesterday, so I thought I would make a video on this kind of just to start creating a little bit more content. But I also wanted to share this with you because it is pretty creepy. We don't really know what it is, we don't know what it wants. So if you guys like this type of content, if you like us talking more about paranormal stuff, if you guys like creepy stories, or if you like more of the true crime stuff, let me know in the comments below and we'll be sure to start making more of that content for you guys. To give you guys a little bit of background information, our family has been haunted for the past 20-25 years or so, ever since I was very young. And we actually have a few videos on this already. I'll be sure to link them above, and then I'll also link them in the comments below. But basically, our family has been haunted for at least 2 decades, and we don't know what is haunting us. We don't know what it wants. But it's definitely there, and it goes through phases. So sometimes we'll go through really high levels of activity, and then sometimes it'll just go down and nothing will happen for a while, and then it'll just skyrocket again out of nowhere. And right now we're kind of going through that phase where it's been escalating from random bumps and noises in the middle of the night to bad dreams, or like feeling like someone's in the room. But yesterday's experience was actually something that escalated the whole situation a little bit more and is really creeping all of us out a lot. We have a couple theories about what it could mean, but let me tell you what happened. So to give you some context, my dad is currently on vacation right now, but he had to go into work for a few admin stuff. So the thing about his work is that they give him these really heavy duty type of boots that are, I wouldn't say they make noise, but they're fairly recognizable when you hear them coming into the house. And this is something that has been very normal for the past 15-16 years or so. Whenever he comes home, we don't always hear the door close, but we definitely hear his boots because they make a very loud sound when he's walking. And this is important because it becomes very recognizable for us. So we're able to tell as soon as my dad is home just by the sound of his boots. So yesterday, my mom and my dad were at home. And like I said, my dad's currently on vacation. They've just been chilling at home. There's not much to do right now because of COVID. So he has to go into the office for some admin stuff. And he tells my mom this, and she's like, okay, cool, no problem. I'll see you in a bit. And for my dad to get from our house to work, it takes him about 15 minutes, maybe 20 if there's some traffic. So keep this in mind for later. My mom goes upstairs, and we also have 2 dogs in the house. One is fairly old, so he spends a lot of his time sleeping, and the other dog is only about 1.5 years, and she's tiny. She's like 7 pounds. So neither of the dogs could have been an explanation for what happened. And my brother was also home, but we end up discovering that he was actually just sleeping in the basement. So he had nothing to do with this either. So my dad leaves, and my mom goes upstairs, and she takes a shower and starts doing some housework, starts folding away laundry, putting laundry away. And it wasn't too long after my dad had left. I think it was maybe like half an hour or so. And she didn't see him, but she heard the footsteps downstairs, like he had just gotten home. And then she heard the footsteps walk in from the mudroom, slowly past the second set of doors that are there to just prevent the cold from coming in. So the footsteps continued from the mudroom, they continued towards the staircase, and beside the staircase, there's this little credenza drawer thing where my dad always goes. He does this like through habit repeatedly, like every single time he comes home from anywhere he's gone. He'll walk in the door, he'll walk towards the credenza, he will put down his keys, his wallet, whatever else little things that he has on him, and then from there he will walk into the kitchen And if he's coming back from work, he usually has his lunch bag with him. So he'll put down his lunch bag in the kitchen and usually grab something to eat quickly before going upstairs. So my mom is hearing these footsteps walk in through the front door, and she immediately recognizes the pattern. So they're walking in, they walk to the credenza, she hears the keys. She swore, she's like, I swear to you guys, I heard the keys. And then she heard the footsteps walk towards the kitchen, into the kitchen, and then silence. So she figures at this point, okay, well, he's probably just eating in the kitchen right now. So she grabs the little dog and she goes down the stairs. They're both excited to go see him. They go say hi, even though she thinks he got home fairly quickly. So she walks into the kitchen and there's no one there. There's literally no one there. She's checking the front door, she checks the side door, she checks the back door, she checks all of the rooms on the main floor, and there's no one there. So she's immediately freaked out. I'm sure any of us would be freaked out. I know I would be freaked out if this happened to me. She has no explanation for why she just heard these footsteps and why she actually did hear the keys. So she thinks, okay, maybe it was my brother. Maybe he was like upstairs doing something, whatever the situation could have been. So she goes into the basement, and that's where she sees that my brother was actually still sleeping. So now she starts getting even more scared because there's literally zero explanation for what just happened, and my dad is nowhere in the house. His car isn't even the driver, so he definitely was not home. So she sits in the living room and decides to wait for my dad to come home because she was pretty creeped out. She didn't want to go back upstairs. So she's chilling in the living room with the two dogs, and then he gets home, and obviously right away she starts telling him what happened. And my dad isn't a skeptic, I would say, but he's definitely more, he just doesn't like talking about these things because he's definitely had these experiences happen his entire life, but he's the type of person that will talk about it once, maybe twice if it's like 10 years later, but he doesn't like talking about these stories because he feels like you're just feeding whatever negative energy is there and you're gonna manifest it by basically talking about it. So my mom tells him the story and he agrees with her. He's like, yeah, that's pretty scary, that's pretty weird, but it definitely wasn't me. So they brush it off, they settle down, and they just go about their evening. Nighttime comes and they go upstairs, they go to sleep, and my mom says right away she started having this really, really bad nightmare. And in the nightmare she says that it was like her being in reality, like in the dream she was in the bed with my dad. So she's sleeping in the dream and she wakes up in the dream, and then she turns and sees my dad there, but then my dad sits up almost robotically and slowly turns his head towards her. And then she says that he just had the most evil smile take over his entire face, where it just extended way past the length that a normal smile would. And so she immediately knew that something was really wrong. Like, this was not normal. There was something creepy going on, and she got chills all over her body. And then she didn't notice before this because she was looking at my dad. She started seeing a shadow behind him, and it slowly started manifesting itself. It was like a darkness that was darker than the darkness in the room. And it started building up. She could see that it had legs, and that it started forming a torso and then arms, and it had human shoulders. But then when it got up to its face level, it turned into this evil demon, disgusting, evil looking face. So if you Google demons, just Google them, you'll see what I mean. It was a very unsettling face, and the first thing she noticed was how the demon had the exact same smile that my dad had in the dream. So they were both doing the same movement. It was like the demon was controlling my dad and doing the exact same thing. So she starts praying, she prays and prays, and then she somehow wakes up from her nightmare, and nothing is out of the ordinary in actual real life. So she starts texting us all right away. She's like, you're not going to believe what just happened. I don't understand what's going on. And we all talked about it for a little bit. We all talked about it late last night. We talked about it again today. And basically there's two theories we have, but from what I've read and a lot of research that I've done, this could be one of two scenarios. And the first scenario is that a lot of spirits or a lot of souls that belong to people that are still living will actually come and visit their friends, their loved ones, and just mimic normal behavior that this person would have done. And it's almost like a way of them saying goodbye, because this person is about to die. And I've heard stories of this happening to people during the last few moments someone was alive, or sometimes it'll happen a couple days, even a few weeks before that particular person ended up dying. So it's almost like a last farewell to these people. And then the second theory that we kind of were able to come to a conclusion about, just based on the nightmare, is that there is some sort of evil entity. I don't want to say it's a demon, but it could be, who knows. There's some sort of evil entity that is attaching itself to our family members, and it's showing us that it could control us and make us do certain things. So that was kind of it, making my dad smile, do that evil face, since they both had the same evil face on. Now, I don't know which of the two it is. I don't even want to say that I have a preference, because both are really bad scenarios. But I'm curious to know if you guys have had any sort of similar experiences, if you guys have had any sort of weird situations like this. What did you guys do? Did you guys go seek help from someone else? Did you guys figure it out at home? I would be really, really curious to know what you guys did. So if you can let me know in the comments below. Also, what you guys think, which scenario of the two this could be. I mean, we're all pretty creeped out at home right now. I'll definitely make some follow-up videos to see if anything else happens about this particular situation, but I know me and Michelle are planning on doing a couple more videos about our families being haunted, just to finish up the series to get us to the present day. And then from there, we'll be making more like continuous videos on situations that happen like this. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one.